aces. Hi again, everybody, and welcome to the Simonis Aramith Arena for the 2019 International 9-Ball Open. Thank you. Thanks very much. The Sheraton Norfolk Waterside Hotel once again is the host of this event, and also once again, Diamond Billiard Products is the official table of the International 9-Ball Open. This is day number 5 of 6. This is the last match of the afternoon session. It's the first of our 2 undefeated matches. We'll have the next one for you following the dinner break, roughly 7:30 Eastern Time. Both of these gentlemen have yet to lose. The winner of this will play the winner of that 7:30 match to go to the hot seat tomorrow. Let's not wait any longer and start with player introductions from Greece. He's a 2018 Dynamic Austrian Open champion, sponsored by IQ-Qs. Please welcome Alex Kazakis. His opponent from Germany. He's a 2018 World 9-Ball champion. He's ranked #1 in the world, sponsored by Predator and Gabriel's. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the killer, Joshua Filler. All right, guys, come on, head out of your break if you would. Official timekeeper is John Baker. I'm going to send it upstairs to the commentary booth to Mark Wilson and a special guest, Chris Melling. Take it away, guys.
The mercurial talent of Josh Filler faces off against the hard-nosed shot maker in Alex Kazakis. Mark Wilson and Chris Melling are here with each of you, and we are delighted to have you here with us, Chris. What can we expect in this bout?
Well, good afternoon, everybody. Looking forward to a really exciting match here. Contrasting styles, with Joshua Filler being the fast and really exciting player to watch, and Alex being the steadier of the two. Likes to take his time and is very composed in his game.
Yeah, dramatically clashing styles for sure. Filler super fast, super accurate, super exciting. Kazakis a little bit more workmanlike. Two ball filtered around 3 cushions, went into the side. That's what they play for.
Nothing easier at first glance. I think he can cut the 3 ball in, but I'm not sure he can play good shape on the 4.
Fairly thin hit. If he goes soft speed, he's got some cover over there should he hang it up or miss it.
I think he's going very close to hitting the 4 ball off 2 rails. This will be a tester for his first shot.
He had enough speed. He went straight safety. That was not an offensive shot. You can tell by the speed that he chose.
Yeah, that's one to count, because you don't see Joshua playing too many safeties. He's normally running around the table, running racks, putting his opponent under pressure, and most of the time winning.
He determined that it wasn't there, it wasn't worth it, and he's not going to give away an unforced error here because he knows that Kazakis is playing fantastic.
If he can hit 2 rails here, he could have him in a little bit of trouble behind the 8 ball. But the 3's going up towards the top right-hand corner. Well, not a bad shot, containing safety, but he's going to be in trouble again after this next one.
He's looking at going for distance, but I almost wonder if he wouldn't be better served to just lag the cue ball behind the 7 here. Just stay right over there. Make sure you get him.
Yeah, I think that's the correct shot, Mark. I think he's got to really play the cue ball in behind the 7, but we may see him spin the cue ball over behind the 8 and the 5 ball.
Well, that's a great shot, too.
Got Alex in a little bit of trouble straight away in this match, but he has got a decent opportunity. Can he get through the gap to hit the 3 ball? I don't think he can. But he can certainly come off the right long rail. And if he plays it slow, there's a very good chance he might hook him back. He's looking to play 2 rails, but I'm not sure the angle's quite there.
Either shot's going to be difficult just because of the distribution of the balls. They're pretty far apart.
I think if you play this shot slowly, there's a lot more chance of getting away with it. Because obviously there's 6 balls next to the 3. And the more pace you play this shot at, the wider the angle's going to be. So just below the side pocket with a touch of left-hand spin will be my shot. That was the problem.
Well, good judgment by Filler. He's earned himself ball in hand. He'll play the 3 all the way down in the corner pocket.
And this first pot of the match for Filler, this is a hanger for this kid. One of the best shot makers in the world, along with Jason Shaw and 1 or 2 other guys.
There's very few that are as good and none better. He always pops up and walks briskly. Even after he wins the game, he walks super briskly to his side as if the racks are going to be already set by the referee or something, like he's in a hurry to get to his chair.
Yeah, and it was a different Joshua against Darren Appleton. It was a good match between both players. But when Darren put him under pressure, he played quite a few bad shots. And everybody's the same. Everybody twitches and everybody misses easy balls. The problem is, this boy doesn't miss as many as other people.
Right, and can make some that are just astounding. Uncanny accuracy from long range. He's got that left-handed, fluid, smooth transition from backswing to foreswing that really contributes to tip control. That greatly aids his shot making.
Yeah, he's got a little pause at the back when he pulls the cue back. So it's very, very minute, but very effective. A little bit short there on the 8 ball. May have to come 2 rails out for the 9, which brings the middle pocket into play. Or can he just draw off the side cushion and just flick the 9 ball?
Yeah, I think lightly bump the 9. Less movement, less travel, way more controlled. And even though this arranged itself not that well, this is not the type of shot that he needs to fear because he just doesn't miss these.
Yeah, this is 1,000 out of 1,000 for Josh.
And if he kind of looks at it like, if I miss this, I wasn't going to win anyway. Oh, talked him into it, but good speed. I thought I had him overcut it there. 1-0, Filler in front of Kazakis.
He didn't put that 9 ball clean, but he potted it on the pro side where he gives the pocket
perfect speed.
Every chance of the ball dropping into the pocket. There we see his wife in the background, always supporting him, Pia Filler. And the jump master there behind Alex, Damianos. If anybody hasn't seen Damianos play the jump shots on YouTube, just type in Damianos the jump master.
Okay.
I guarantee you've never seen jumps like it.
I will do so. You know, Josh's wife, Pia, is a player, too. I mean, not just like a hacker or something, but actually a legitimate player. That's got to be nice to have somebody that understands the game in your corner like that. That's your spouse.
Yeah, it's important to have somebody there supporting you. When I play a lot of the tournaments, me and Jason are best friends on the tour. We support each other when we play, and we're always in each other's corner.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I can't be for this next match because he's currently playing James Aranis. And I believe James is winning 4-3 at this moment in time. And he had a massive win last match, beating Dennis O'Connor 11-1.
Yeah, that's hard to do.
And that's not James's greatest shot he's ever played. We're just watching from the commentary box, and he's just drawn the 6 ball in off the top rail and landed bridging over the 8. He should make the 7, but he's now made it missable.
Okay, here we go. Rack number 2, filler breaking. The 1 found the side pocket. The 2 tracking up here towards the 9 near the side pocket.
Just to give you a little update, Mark, James Aranis has just missed a 7 ball. So it's looking like 4-all on our outside table in the second chance side of the draw. We're back to the main match with Joshua at the table. Not on the 2 ball, I believe.
Can't tell. He acts like he can get at it, but it almost looks like he should play a stop shot safety there.
I think he's playing the stop shot. Wants to be careful he doesn't pop the 2 in the side pocket. Oh, that's a good shot. That's a real good shot. That could have gone wrong. Has he left the edge?
Yeah, no, it looks like he just can skip the edge of the 9 ball to make an impact on the 2.
Well, there's one thing for sure with Alex. You won't see him rushing any shot.
Mm-hmm. No, this is kind of like the tortoise and the hare matchup here, you know.
And we all know how that finished. Oh, that's a brilliant shot. What a great shot that is from Alex.
Man, oh man.
Doesn't want it to go too close, but he'll be very, very happy with that one. And I wouldn't be surprised if Philip makes this ball. But like I said before, if he does have a weakness, it's his kicking.
It looks like it's going to go a little long, so I have to warp it in there with a little backspin.
Yeah, just a touch of backspin on this, maybe a touch of left-hand spin as well.
The other thing, it brings that cue ball in flatter, so you have a greater chance to make it.
And there you go. And the reason he's missed that is because we played on a brand new table here, brand new diamond, new cloth, new balls, heated. So the table actually plays around 2 or 3 inches longer. So I think Joshua's forgot about that there. But next time he has to play one of them shots, he'll remember.
Terrific. Terrific comment. That's the exact type of insight that you get from someone that's an active player today that's into the sport.
Well, the thing is now is that a lot of players these days, they just try and hit the ball where the standard's so high now that it's no good just hitting the ball. You've got to get it safe or make it.
Right.
Alex has gone a little bit too far there, but he's a pretty tall guy, so he should be able to reach this. Could have done with just a little bit more angle. He's now going to have to punch this in, I believe. That's okay. He's got a nice little angle to spin this cue ball 2 rails and be straight in on the 5. And it's important that Alex takes these chances because Joshua's not the type of guy who's going to give you too many.
Right. And he's going to get some that you're not going to get to play in. So you're going to have to make something happen when you get an opportunity to score. There's really nobody left, though, that's not going to be that way at this point.
That's perfect on the 5 ball. Or is it perfect? Is he slightly the wrong angle? He could have done with being straight on this 5. He can punch the cue ball off the side rail and back out, but he needs to come back to roughly where the cue ball is now to have an angle on the 6 to go up for the 7. That's a good shot.
I had one of my friends earlier today say something about, boy, what's the standards up there? Playing 850 pool? You know, I said, all the guys that play 850 were eliminated on the second day. There's nobody here that doesn't play 900 pool.
Yeah, I'm a firm believer that when you play a match, you're allowed one mistake. That's how I look at my matches, and if I make more than one, then I'm disappointed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, for sure you're vulnerable. You know, if you do, just make one, you're going to win. You make 2, might not win. You make 3, probably not going to win.
Sometimes you don't make any and still don't win.
Yeah.
Oh, this is perfect. Absolutely perfect there. A lot of people at home may think that's a bad shot, but what Alex is doing there is thinking 2 or 3 shots in front, making sure that it leaves a natural angle for the cue ball to come back down for the 8. And the only thing he doesn't want to do is he doesn't want to miss the 7, but he also doesn't want to land straight on the 8 ball.
Well, the good news is when the 8 ball's that far off the end rail, you have a lot of leeway. Even if you are straight, you have to draw and worry about the pocket getting involved.
He's perfect there. His cue ball control is very, very good. That's one thing that I've noticed about Alex's game over the past few years. He had a little bit of a setback in the Mosconi and a little bit of setback in another tournament, but he's gathered his thoughts together, put his practice on the table and played as many tournaments as possible, and I've never seen him play as good as what he's playing at the moment.
Yeah, I completely agree with that assessment. I admired the fact that he was willing to be honest and accept that he had faltered and then go about making it his strength. One now is our score. This is a race to 11. 3-point rule on the break. The 9 ball's racked on the spot. All ball fouls.
Yeah, and Kazakis, last week we played the Dismal Swamp event, and for those people who were watching, he was hill with Jalal Youssef from Peru, and 2 balls was on the magic rack, or 1 ball was next to the magic rack, and Alex went to pick the magic rack up, and there was only literally probably 8 mil between the balls, and he picked the magic rack up, and the rack moved both balls about 8 inches. So in the rules that we played there, if you move 1 ball with your arm or your claws or the cue, it's okay, but if you move 2, it's a foul. And with all the experience Alex has got, he should have known to get a referee to move the rack, and he just picked it up, and then there was uproar because he didn't think it was a foul. Jalal believed it was a foul, and they came to an agreement where they'd flick a coin to see who breaks, and Jalal won the break and broke like a monster, made 4 balls, and you couldn't miss him if you closed your eyes.
All right, Kazakis now breaking here in game number 3. Now, just what you said, Chris, his break is powerful.
Well, for me, Alex Kazakis, Max Legner, and Fedor Ghost have got the best 3 breaks at these rules. the control of the object ball so good, and you'll see that 2-ball go over that side pocket so many breaks. It's unbelievable when them 3 guys break, and that is a massive advantage if you can do that. I've got to play a good shot here though. He's got to play with a little bit of pace and a lot of draw on the cue ball.
Yeah, you can easily get into the edge of the 6 here.
Oof, right in the eye of the pocket. That's a confidence booster if I've ever seen one. That was clean as a whistle.
Great stroke, very smooth, stayed still. You know that tournament, Dismal Swamp? I always wonder who named that place. I mean, could there be anything more depressing than, hey, let's go play at the Dismal Swamp?
Yeah, it's not the greatest name for a tournament, is it?
No, it's very peculiar. I guess that's the name of a location.
Yeah, I actually put it on Facebook, and one of my friends who's a professional snooker player, Sean Murphy, former world snooker champion, he actually messaged me and said, "Are you being serious? Is that what the tournament's called?" So I sent him the poster.
Yeah, the first time I heard it, I felt the same exact way. Like, that's some kind of a joke, right?
Yeah, a good tournament as well. I was fortunate enough myself to win it last year, and Jason won it this year, and he won it 2 years previous, so it's a tough field. A lot of the top players there. It's kind of like a warm-up for the International Open.
Yeah, put you close proximity here, and you get a little practice under pressure.
Got a good crowd here as well, Mark.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, this is Friday, and people are coming in. We've had a lot of viewership, too. I promoted this on my Facebook page just to get some energy going and encourage pool room owners around the United States to have viewing parties. And we did get a few to do so. If everybody would do it, it would change the dynamic of our sport, and it's just going to take a little bit of time to build it up. You know, this is a super high quality break and run out from Kazakis here.
Yeah, he's been in prime position every single shot so far, not having to move that cue ball too much.
And the opening stroke that you said is a confidence builder, he couldn't have performed it any better, and then he stayed in line the rest of the way. So that's 2 consecutive quality runouts.
It's going to be very interesting how he performs in the Mosconi Cup this year. Obviously last year was in London, and he felt the pressure just like everybody else does. You know, we all miss silly balls and we all make great shots. But Alex would have been disappointed after last year. And this year, it's in Las Vegas.
Well, he's a focused guy, and he's only 28 years old, but I have complete confidence that he's going to play fantastic, because he's going to try to make amends for last year. He knows he's better than that.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. The only thing I don't think he's going to get used to is the amount of people that are shouting against him. Because obviously in Europe, the European guys and the British guys are all cheering for the Europeans, where now in America you've probably got maybe 300 or 400 Europeans and around 2,000 or 3,000 Americans. So it's a role reversal for Alex this year. And I can guarantee you he will have never played in an environment like that before.
Right. But he got a little exposure last year at least to see what the energy's like. So. Now here's that break. Going to try to have the 2-ball track around 3 rails to his right into the side pocket.
And that's going over the middle again.
There's the 2-ball coming up to the side pocket.
It's not going to get there. But every single break, that 2-ball will land there when Alex breaks. So for me, in the future, this might sound like I'm being a little bit sceptical, but I think the 2-ball needs to be at random. Because once you can control that object ball, then it becomes a little bit silly for me. But we're changing the rules now and again to try and make the game better, so we've got to experiment with these breaks.
Yeah, completely agree that it's every rule change that we have has other impacts. And important shot here. Look at that safety.
Well, I cannot
Did he get
believe
it?
I cannot believe that Joshua's put him back in there. If he could play that shot.
Well, look how much movement on the cue ball, though. No, I don't blame him. I'd force him to execute that too, because it's easy to mess that up. You got to control the one ball and the cue ball at that range is not that easy.
Yeah, he's playing his jump here. I fancy him to make this shot, but can he get position onto the 2?
Now, what happened there was not an aiming error. It's just that the cue ball was hopping when it impacted the one ball, so it hit it higher and cut it more than anticipated.
Yeah, he hit the top of the one ball, didn't he? And the cue ball leapt over. But this is no easy run out. The 3 ball's not easy to get on from the 2. And the 1 to the 2 is no easy shot.
Correct.
We may see Alex punch the 1 ball in off the side rail, off the other side rail, top rail, in behind the 8 ball here, or he may come twice across in between the 7 and the 4.
Got to have perfect speed if he goes in between the 7 and 4. And he did. Oh, he rattled the 1.
Yeah, and all that was concentration, trying to get on the 2 ball perfectly.
While he was playing the 1. You know, he's playing the 1, but trying to get it on the 2. So you got to be committed, what Chris is saying.
And Joshua's got a pretty easy safety here. Clip the edge of the ball, send the cue ball in behind the 8, and hide that 1 behind the 9, 4 and 3. Well, that is really, really poor. Really poor. And like we said earlier, if he does have a downside to his game, it's definitely his safety and kicking. I mean, he's literally just clipped that 1 ball there. But at any given moment, you do know he can run the match.
Right.
So there is that frightening prospect in your mind.
He's got that dynamic in there for sure.
Alex needs to play the same shot, but try and get that cue ball in behind the 8. He's got a big target there.
A lot of distance here, and you have to hit that 1 ball super light, almost as light as Filler did, or just wiggles.
Well, I think he'll get him in a snooker here. That's okay.
Certainly can't fault that effort.
Just caught it a little bit thick, and he has left the edge of the 1, but is it scratching straight into the corner? That is the question. Or can Joshua Filler draw the cue ball and kill it on the bottom rail? Is he going to drag it and try and hook him behind the 6?
Yeah, that's what he was attempting, I believe.
That's a good shot there from Joshua. Real good shot. But don't be surprised if Alex hit this and hooks him back. Alex won't want to move the 9 or the 3 ball here. He's going to try and send that 1 ball towards the side pocket and try and get the cue ball back down to where he is now. On the outside match, we've got a tied game with Jason and James Aranis, 5-5. And that's a 1 loss side.
This is not an easy kick to be productive with, because it's really how square or thin that you hit the 1. And much like this, you can see.
He's got a little bit fortunate there. That's not what he played to do.
At all. No, and I don't know, because it was just that tough of a shot, though. That's what I was trying to allude to, is that you'd like to play something out of it, but the 1 ball is a long ways from the rail.
Joshua's going to bank the 1 ball over the table here and stick the cue ball in behind the 6. Or is he going to go for the bank?
I think he's lining up the bank.
Play the cue ball 2 rails to play for the 2 ball. Just where he stood there, that's where he'd want the cue ball if he's going for the bank. I think the safety is definitely the better option. Another good shot there from Joshua, keeping the reins on Alex.
Mm-hmm.
And both players, when they've played these kick shots, have been about 2 inches short of where they want to hit on the one ball or the object ball. Well, he's playing the jump shot here, and he's good at these. Can he keep the cue ball on the table or the one ball? This may jump off the table. No easy shot here. What a shot, Rice. What a shot. That's the shot of the match so far.
Hopped it into the side pocket. I guess you have to do that if you have the jump master sitting in your corner, though.
Yeah, he's got the best coach, that's for sure. That was a brilliant shot, because that could have easily gone off the table there. Now can he lock Joshua up with a good safety? No, that's a poor shot again from Alex. You've got to make sure you get that object ball very safe, and that's not safe. So we've seen some really good shots, but a lot of slack safety so far in this match.
Well, I don't think he can play offense from here, though.
Unless he plays the Jason Shaw shot where he banks it full length and screws back. I mean, that was just an unbelievable shot.
That was. He made 3 banks in that rack. You know, he could play offense. He just couldn't get the cue ball right.
Yeah, and that'll frustrate Josh, because he's made a good pot there, but he spun the cue ball with a lot of spin, and I'm not sure he needed to. And that's why he cannoned the 8 ball, and now he's hooked. And I'll guarantee you he's going to go off the bottom cushion, smash this as hard as he can, and try and make the 9 in the side pocket. Don't be surprised if he gets lucky here, because we saw it in the US Open earlier in the year when he was hooked. He smashed the ball and got lucky. And this is what he does a lot of the time.
Oh, a good effort.
And he's got lucky, really.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
you know,
very
it's
much.
no easy shot on the 3 ball.
Yeah. Do you know that if you just hit a ball hard, just randomly hit it hard, and don't scratch, 20% of the time you leave the other guy tough?
Oh, yeah.
If you blindly do it, yeah. So that's got to be factored into those shots when you're playing something like that. If you can just make a solid impact and not scratch, 20% of the time you're going to leave it tough.
For me, I just can't do that, though, Mark. I've got to play a proper shot.
But what else could you do?
Well, yeah.
No, I'm
Yeah.
just saying, so, yeah, I'm not saying you should just randomly bludgeon balls. What I'm saying is when you're confronted with that, there's a thing called a backdoor safety, and that was one.
Well, yeah, because three things can happen. You can either make the ball, you can either hit the ball and get lucky, or hit the ball and
Sell out.
leave it.
Yeah.
So 2 of the 3 things are actually in your favour.
Right.
Great shot there by Josh, and he's got lucky. And he deserved to get a little bit of luck there, because that was a really good shot on the 3 ball. He's also tied the 6 ball up, but I do believe whoever can get to the 6 can flick off it and make the 9. Well, what does Alex do here? For me, Alex needs to come off the top cushion and hit half ball on the left hand side of the 3. That'll send the 3 to the right hand side of the table, and the cue ball will slide back down the table to where it is, and he'll have the 7, 8 and 5 in the way. Unless he's trying to play it back down to the bottom rail, which brings the 9 into play. Oh, he's left a straight combo, has he? Has he left a straight combo? He'd be disappointed if he has.
He'll have to cut that 3 pretty thin, because it's not just straight in the pocket, I don't think. If it is, boy, that'd be quite a fortunate break here for Filler.
He's also left an angle.
Looks like Filler's planning on playing the combination, so it might be a little bit more straightforward than I'm even thinking.
I think he's playing safe, you know, just rolling it onto the bottom rail. Wow, that's slack as well. The 3 ball's about 2 feet from the top rail there. Needed to get that tight. And a slack safety is as bad as a slack miss.
And you said beforehand that that was perhaps the area of the game that Josh is not as good at.
Well, I just think it's experience. Obviously, he's 22 years old. So that will come with experience. And, you know, we talk about, obviously, he's won the US Open, he's won the World 9 Ball. He's won other events. But he's only 22 years old.
Yeah, so, we do have to factor that in. Yes.
That's what we have to remember. He's achieved so much at such a young age. Well, this will be interesting now because this is the first shot at a ball to go for a pot that he's had in a good 5 or 10 minutes. Good shot there. Really good shot there by Josh. He could have easily missed that because, like I said, he hasn't had a go at a pot for quite a while. And that's very slack. He's got lucky again there. That was a very poor shot. Could have easily cannoned the 5 and left no shot. So we're seeing a lot of slack shots at the minute mark, but very early in the match, and I'm sure it'll turn round.
Well, there's not much he can do with the 6, so I think he may pin the cue ball to the 8 here.
Well, I think he can flick off the 6 and make the 9. Just depends if that 6 ball's touching the rail, because if it is, it'll double kiss the cue ball.
Well, he does too.
And I think he's just about perfect. Oh yeah, it goes easy.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was playing to the crowd a little bit there. That one wasn't difficult.
Mizrak used to do that a lot. He would have a lot of drama and everything, and then decided that then they'd go right in. Yeah. So.
Well, there's a guy who plays English pool in England, and he's one of the greatest players to ever play. And he shakes his head so much, it's unbelievable. But you know when he shakes his head, he's actually perfect.
You're right.
And all he does is try and get in people's heads, and obviously you've got to try not to let it affect you.
Two games apiece. Filler will be breaking.
And let's see how Filler breaks, because he has been making the 1 ball in the side and the wing ball, but hasn't been controlling the 2.
The 1 ball's down. Here comes the 2.
Is it going to sit on top of the cue ball? Oh, he's had a nice little roll there. That could have stopped on top of the 2 ball, but he's perfect. Absolutely perfect.
Look at this layout, too.
Yeah, he's going to spin this 3 rails in behind the 6, I would think. Or can he just play 1 rail? I think you've got to spin it behind the 6. It's a natural angle. It can't really go wrong.
I don't think he needs to go over that far. Yeah, you might be right. It's like he's queuing up to go around. Gorgeous.
Well,
right on line all the way once it left that 3rd cushion.
You could probably count to about 45 seconds and this rack will be finished.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He will not waste time. We are playing with a 40-second shot clock, but he thinks it maybe is for the entire rack as opposed to per stroke.
Well, that's not his best shot. Because the 4, he needs to hit the right-hand side of the 5 ball.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's okay. It's deep in the pocket.
And he can also go rail first with the 4. Create that angle, too.
I think he can just roll it in, to be honest. Got to be careful that the 4 doesn't sit on the bottom rail and the cue ball goes to the side rail, though. I think he's okay. Yeah, it was fine.
Sweatable, though. And that's really why you want to manage that angle a little bit better than being casual.
Yeah, it was dancing with danger there with the 9 ball. And that's not his best shot. So we're seeing some very poor shots at the minute.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Well, this shot here is like a hanger for this lad.
And truly, that was sort of set up by the miscalculation on the position play of the combination, too. So still suffering from not working a little bit harder on a routine circumstance.
Well, the good thing for Josh here is he's just got to make the ball. He doesn't need to control the cue ball. It's a straight stop shot. Just make sure you don't impart any side on the cue ball. Just like that. And you can tell he didn't impart side because the cue ball isn't spinning whatsoever. It just stopped.
Well, not the cleanest break and run out, but certainly a break and run out nonetheless. Trevor now has the lead, 3 games to 1 or 3 games to 2.
I've got a question for you, Mark. What do you think to players wearing jackets when they're playing? I personally don't like it. It doesn't look right to me.
Right. It almost looks like a little casual, a little like, it's just a game or something as opposed to a sport.
Yeah, to me, you'd wear something like that if you was travelling on a plane.
Right.
You know, do something relaxing and nice and comfortable.
The other part of it is, what if the player's uncomfortable with the temperature in the room and says, I perform better, so I don't know. But
well, the thing is with that is look at football, look at other sports, look at tennis. They're not allowed to wear jackets or other clothes. They've got to handle it.
Perhaps
It's part of the game.
Yeah. Well, the other thing is I noticed Justin Bergman wears an undershirt that has long sleeves a lot of times.
Yeah, I don't mind that. Yeah, okay, I don't mind that.
If you had, but yeah, certainly, you know me, I'm all about respect for the sport. So, but I tend to overlook it because I wouldn't do it myself, but I enjoy watching Josh Filler hit balls. So I don't really think about it too much.
Oof, what a break. And there we see Joshua breaking from the right-hand side of the table, sending the cue ball round and over the side pocket. Alex breaking from the left-hand side table and sending the 2 over the opposite side pocket. And that's exactly where you want that ball to land.
Wow.
Well, he's okay. But the 5 ball is slightly in his eye line. I don't know why he just didn't roll that in, dead weight, in the side pocket.
Yeah, he traveled the cue ball quite a bit. Now it's awkward to get back on the 4. Right?
Yeah, he's struggling with control a little bit here, is Josh.
But just what you said, though, there was no reason to take the cue ball all the way down table. That was the 2 was hanging.
Yeah, he could have rolled a 2 in dead weight or even played a stop shot.
This is a really awkward ball to play position on. He has the firepower to do it, but nonetheless, it's you have to take more chance, and it diminishes your consistency rate.
Yeah, I think he's got to play the 3 ball thick into the rail and leave the cue ball near the side pocket. That in turn will give him a natural angle to come back down for the 5. That's the correct shot for me.
Good call, and he executed it perfectly. No sense to take more risks than you had to, and you're not likely to come out better than this anyway.
Yeah, played a clever shot there. A lot of people would have tried smashing that in and come out for the 4 in the opposite corner pocket. Which would have given probably better position, but Joshua's just making sure that he's got a chance here.
Yeah, you would have had better position at the price of a lot more risk. That was clean. That was a good shot. Now he's
That's
back.
perfect.
Yeah. So he's made a good recovery.
Nice angle on the 6 ball there to come back down for the 7. And it's looking like a 4-2 lead for Joshua, the killer filler.
Another break and run out here for Filler. We're down to 10 players left in this event. Jason Shaw and James Aranis are playing. Don't know who's on top. Somebody's ahead 7-5. Do you know?
Jason's winning 7-5 at the minute. Yeah.
Okay. You have better eyes than me. I can see the score. I just can't see the names on the tags. I didn't know who was on top. So.
Seven, Joshua Brady, 4-2.
Well, the 1 ball found the side pocket. 2 ball, not much of a shot there, doesn't appear, because the 8 ball impedes even bridging the cue ball.
Yeah, especially as a left-hander, because his eye line is going to be in front of the 8, where if he was right-handed, you could sight the ball better. But the 3-5 is a straight combo, so it's if you can make the 2 ball, you should be okay. Do you know, he may even go for a bank here, because it's a straight back bank.
It's just hard to cue either way, whether you cut it or bank it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not easy, no matter what he does here.
Extension.
Okay, he's going to bridge over the 8. Yeah, thinking he's measuring it to feel if that's even a playable shot. Again, Schumann right on the scene. Not sure what he tried there.
Yeah, I'm not sure what he tried. When he's left it a 2-3-5 combo, I believe.
That was unusual. He had something in mind, and it's rare that we can't tell what his thought process was with that one. The cue ball came off there mighty hot, so did the 2. I don't know where he was going.
Yeah, and just off the camera there, just looking down from the commentary box, Joshua punched his chair. He's disgusted with that effort. You don't see that very often from him.
It's almost like his bridge hand slipped, or he just kind of stabbed at it at the end. And so what he was trying wasn't apparent to us because he mishit it. Kazakis was trying to work the cue ball back closer to the 5, block off a direct route to the 2. He fell well short of that mark. Now he's going jump cue. Boy, this is close range. Feels like he can spear it in, however. Very vertical with the cue. He got it.
What a shot.
Yeah.
What a shot that is. And this is no gimme shot on the 3 ball. Even if you are Joshua Filler.
Yeah. No, he's elevating again. Is this a safety? Yeah. All right.
Good shot there by Josh. Could have done with that not being near the rail, because it makes his shot a little bit easier now for Alex, but it's not an easy shot, but not by any means.
Gonna have to use some pace with this, try to get some
Close.
separation.
It's close. What a shot. What a shot that is. And perfectly on the 4 ball. Joshua will be seething there about that one.
You said he'd rather it not be so close to the rail, but I didn't dream that he was going to go off the rail 2 cushions and make the ball, get position.
Yeah, Joshua won't be happy with that, because he did play a really good safety.
He showed some maturity, played a safety there, and now he starts second guessing himself. Maybe I should have just played offense.
Well, we should be looking at 4-3. It's all about keeping that cue ball under close control. Could do with the cue ball being somewhere in between the 7 and the 8, above the 7 and the 8, should I say. That's perfect, absolutely perfect. Natural angle here to come 2 rails into the 7. He's certainly thinking clearly. His hand's pretty close to that 7 ball. I noticed that one.
Big advantage here for being tall. Normally it's not an advantage in pool. Shorter players tend to do better, but
Yeah, I
Reaching
couldn't
this shot.
have reached that one.
no, you have to be Kazakis' height to have any chance. Played it excellent. And just like you said, it's supposed to be 4-3 here if he manages the cue ball.
Well, he was digging very, very deep on that 8 ball, and I don't understand why. Because he's only drawing the cue ball back 2 or 3 inches.
Well, and you can see him looking at his tip. It sounded like a miscue on that as well.
Yeah, he doesn't want to dig too deep on that shot too often. We have seen a lot of miscues here this week. Let's have another look at Alex's break. Again, wanting to put that 2-ball over the side pocket. He's been a little bit short on his last couple of breaks. You see on the outside table, Jason Shaw's looking like he's running away with the game now. 8-5 in front and at the table.
Ranged in on the 1 ball. Here comes the 2 up by the side.
Is he going to pot the 8 with the 2?
Ooh, I don't know if it could have got much worse.
He's okay, I think.
Is he?
Yeah, I think he can flick off the 2 and make the 8.
If the 2's frozen, there is the double kiss part of it, though. And the 8's in there pretty deep. Maybe he can just go ahead and bump the 2 into the 8.
I'm just wondering if he can play the 2 into the 8 and it double kisses it in.
Right. That would be helpful because then get the 2 out in front of the side pocket also.
Maybe the 2 goes straight in the side. Oh, that's no good. That's no good, Alex. He's disgusted with that shot. He can make the 2, no problem. But he can't get on the 3.
From the angle that he had, the billiard, the 8-ball in, it was always going to end up down here, or heading that way.
Yeah, he definitely hit it too hard.
Well, he hit it pretty soft. It's just it didn't lose any power whatsoever. Maybe he hit it a bit too hard, but even at that, just say the cue ball stops 2 feet short, he still didn't have a good route to the 3-ball. And I think it was an awkward arrangement with that 2-ball right on, frozen on the rail, and the 8-ball on that side of the side pocket.
What do you do here, Mark? He has got an option, of playing safe here. If he plays the 2 into the side rail down towards the 5-ball and send the cue ball behind the 7-9. Or he couldn't. The better shot is probably to try and make the 2 and play safe from the 3.
If we can get the overhead real quick, I think this is also a playable shot where you can go rail first here and then let the cue ball come over here and just let this come down and have a pace where maybe it ends up along that rail.
I think I'd just try and make the 2 and play safe with the 3 here. He's missed the 2 by some distance, and he's left a perfect angle from the 2 to get to the 3.
It's hard to concentrate to make that shot knowing it leads to you having to play yet another safety down the way. I kind of like the rail first separation that it gave, but...
Yeah, you're right there. In the back of your mind, you're thinking, well, I can't get on the 3, so what's the point? Joshua's played a good shot there. He's perfect on the 3-ball. Filler shooting a 9.47 at the minute, and Kazakis 8.18, which is far below par for somebody like him. Don't be surprised if Filler gets up to about 9.70.
that will win. It's just an uncommon talent that you find with Filler. It's almost like he has just a natural feel for how this is supposed to work. Somehow when I watch him, I just feel like the very first day he ever picked up a cue, he probably made a long straight-in shot and like, this isn't too bad. And,
yeah, he's very, very talented, he's Filler. He's not the type of guy who needs to practice 8 hours a day. He could probably have 6 months off and play the same.
He just, it definitely looks that way. All right, 5-3 is our score now.
Yeah, Alex will be disappointed with that. He had a good chance there and played a bad shot first. First shot to cannon the 2 ball in. Sorry, to cannon the 8 ball in, using the 2.
Yeah, that kind of initiated the trouble, and then the missed shot. It was a challenging shot. I'm not saying it was an easy shot, but then it happened to leave the exact right angle to get on the 3. 1 ball dropped in the side. It's going to be a compliant break. Here comes the 2 up to the side.
Going to be tied up. He just hit that a little bit too hard that time.
Hard to fault him on that because you have to make a compliant break, right?
True.
And the 2 ball only went 10 inches past the side pocket. Now Filler's going to push out. Doesn't look like it's that kick and stick or anything where you can just dribble the cue ball back behind the 6 here.
Yeah, can he kill it? He's got to play with a little bit of draw. Doesn't want the 2 ball to hit the 8 though.
Well, you could, yeah.
Oh, brilliant shot. Absolutely brilliant shot.
That was not a good push out then if it was that where you could stick that cue ball.
Yeah, and again, that was a slack safety from Josh. Or safety process, should we say.
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't very good.
Yeah, that was a nice shot. Got a double kiss. Looks like Alex can at least hit half the ball, if not pocket the ball.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if Josh can get the cue ball in behind the 3 here, sending the 2 up and down.
I'm thinking he might be able to make this 2 ball.
Wow, I didn't realise he could make that. He's okay there, it's not too bad. He's got a good angle to come down for the 4. And he's going to be looking to play the 4-9 combo.
That 5 guards the getting on the 4-9 combo real easily.
Yeah, I'd like to use 2 rails here, Mark. And that's what he's played there. Find it a little bit easier to control the cue ball. And he should make this.
Really
You've just got to concentrate on making the 4 clean, and that 9 will go straight in.
This is a really good positional effort, though, to get it where it's this good. Because if it stops, even 6 inches short of this, it's not that great. Makeable, but also missable. This one, much more straightforward. Figures to make this the majority of the time. And 5-4 is our score. Well done.
And Joshua's TPA is going up to 9.56. Kazakis at 8.33.
9.56, but we also feel like he's maybe underachieved on some of his tactical side of the game.
Yeah, it's his safety that's let him down. Looks like Jason Shaw's about to go 10-5 up. He messed up in the rack and let Aranis back in, and Aranis has left Jason a clear opportunity on the 8 ball.
Your history with Jason Shaw, how did you meet him?
I met him through the English pool through his father. His father played for Scotland. He was one of the best players that Scotland's ever produced.
His father?
And Jason used to go everywhere with his dad. So he used to be a little bit of a pain when he was younger. He's still a bit of a pain now, but yeah, he used to play matches and he'd run on the table after he'd finished and try and put all the balls, and you could tell he was going to be a talented player. You know, he was really dangerous when he was like 10, 12 years old. And he's turned into a monster. He's currently 10-5 in front. And you can only see that match going one way.
One ball found the side. Here comes the 2 ball.
That's going to sit perfectly. Absolutely perfect. And that is why I said to you before the match, I think he's favourite with this break rule. Because he's so good at controlling that 2 ball.
Yeah. You give one of these guys this type of a start at the open layout, and they all expect it would get them all and be disappointed if they didn't.
Well, this is a pretty easy run out for Kazakis. It's all about landing the correct side on the 7 ball when he gets to it. You can't see anything going wrong from here.
The winner of this match cinches 3rd place in this event.
Wow.
Right? And there's 4 winners left, so this will put them into the battle for the hot seat match.
Yeah, it's a bit. I think it's a 10,000 match as well. £10,000 match. Dollars, sorry. Doesn't want to over it. This needs to under it. This shot.
Yeah, I'm glad he got back up. Once he changed while he was down, that wasn't good.
Yeah, that's something that he does well, though. He does get back up off the shot if he's not comfortable. A lot of players stay down, and
especially if you're going to change your mind. If you want to be decided what you're going to do prior to bending over, then be committed to that once you're down.
That's perfect. That's perfect. Could have done with probably another couple of inches on the cue ball, but shouldn't cause him any problems. He can pot the 7 and just flick the 8 softly.
Now this is one of these shots where you like to use extreme low, and so it carries the spin over there, and that allows you to use minimum speed. But he miscued earlier, and I could tell that it was disruptive mentally because he looked at his tip and then he roughed it up in between games. And if you have any reluctance about that, that sometimes causes you to mishit this ball because you're worried, a little bit distracted by the possibility of a miscue.
Well, the thing that could go wrong is he could flick the 8 and it goes behind the 9. Played that perfect. Absolutely perfect. Couldn't have played that any better. That was a lot more difficult than what it looked.
Yeah.
Jason Shaw wins his match with Aranis, 11-5. He moves on to the final 6 players, I believe.
In 3rd place, right? That was winner's bracket? Or
no, that was a loser's side. This is for a guaranteed 3rd spot. The match we're watching right here.
We're all tied at 5 now. A very nice, controlled break and run out by Kazakis. Both players have a couple break and run outs in this match. Well, Kazakis very productive off this last break. Let's see what he can do here. 2 ball trailing around to the side pocket where he's facing now. 1 ball dropped in the side. Cue ball got away.
He's going to have a shot on the 2. How does he get to the 3? I think you just got to concentrate on making the 2 ball here. Similar to the shot what he missed before.
Yeah, where you're playing to a very small sliver of position is all that you have. These are hard shots to play psychologically because you know you can leave them. You can lose with this shot, but it's hard to win.
Well, all I can do is try and make this. Needs to play it into the rail more than to the right of the pocket. Oh, perfect. Where's the cue ball? Oh, that's poor from Alex. That is really poor to follow that in. There's no excuse for doing that. And he made a great shot, to be fair to him, but
yeah,
poor shot to scratch.
Yeah, that's the only thing you could do worse than miss the ball would be give a ball in hand. That's quite a bit worse than missing. That opens up to 3. Now Josh kind of has his way with the table. Everything's open once he plays this 3 ball.
And Josh will be delighted to get back to the table and have a chance to take the lead once again.
And it kind of neutralizes the greatness of that last break and run out because he gives the game right back. Josh will have the lead and the break. Playing it this way, he gave himself a great margin of error for the position rather than trying to get to the other side of the table where you could have had something go wrong. This way, you're always in line. Ooh, caught that a little heavy. You know, when you hit balls softly, it seems like they don't cut as much, right? You know,
yeah,
I mean,
you feel like you're getting a little bit of a skid on it.
Mm-hmm. It's like there's a little more cling or something when they touch as opposed to a little pace on it.
That's not his greatest shot. You wouldn't think he's going to miss that, but that's not a good shot to leave the cue ball there.
Why put it on the rail? I'm going to think a little bit. All right.
He's under a little bit of pressure, is Josh. You can see it. He's taking that little bit more time on his shots, but he isn't missing anything silly. He's just losing control of the cue ball.
And it is apparent that you're right about his tactical side of the game. I mean, that's already come to the forefront. Not quite as efficient as you see some of the other players at that aspect. More than makes up for it was his shot making, however. Yeah,
without a doubt. He's one of the greatest shot makers that's ever played the game, as far as I'm concerned. We saw Earl Strickland. He's, for me, the greatest 9-ball player I've ever seen. But do you know what I think Earl's biggest downfall is? And some people may disagree with this.
Let's hear it.
I think the game's too easy for him. For him personally, I think it's too easy. You know, because you watch him play, and it's just absolutely effortless what he does. And I think he misses a lot of balls or plays a lot of bad shots because he just thinks, well, how can I miss this? Or how can this go wrong?
Perhaps you're right. I've known Earl since he's 18, and he's always had that super firepower.
Yeah, even now he plays great. Oh, Josh lost the cue ball there. He lost the cue ball there, and did you see the 2-ball just roll back off the rack?
I did.
That may allow the 2-ball to go. He's had a little bit of a roll if this 2-ball goes.
You know, no matter whether you use a wooden rack or a template rack, there's always an issue one way or the other. This gives you a more consistent rack, but sometimes the ball rolling slowly is affected on the break. A wooden rack, you don't get the consistency with the break.
Needs to get this cue ball tight on the 3 if he's playing safe. Doesn't want to give him the side rail option.
And it's kind of hard to do because the pace that it takes to get to the 2-ball there and then get the cue ball all the way up to the 3 is the wrong pace for the cue ball.
I'll tell you a shot he could play, and I don't think he's looked at it. He could bank the 2 into the top corner.
Yeah.
And it is guaranteed to leave the hook.
Right.
And he'll be on the 3. I don't think he's seen it. He wants to shoot with this ball. You can just tell. You can just tell he wants to shoot. And this is why he wins tournaments, because he goes for everything. And he makes most of them.
Wow, he had to warp that cue ball with inside spin. That was a tremendous shot. Did not get the position.
Yeah, lost control of the cue ball. It wasn't an easy shot, and playing it with a lot of right-hand spin made it twice as difficult.
Good shot there. Yeah, that's going to force a kick out into open spaces here, and it's very hard to play a shot from here. It's just pretty much all you can do is use speed and just try to hit it.
Yeah, this could be a case for playing this with a lot of speed, a lot of right-hand spin. And the reason you play this shot with a lot of right-hand spin is if the cue ball follows through the 3 and hits the side rail, it'll kill the cue ball, so the cue ball could land onto the top rail. What he doesn't want to do is hit the left-hand side of the 3 and the cue ball hits the top rail, because then it'll spin down the table. There you see the cue ball die.
Solid impact on the 3.
And it's a little bit unfortunate to leave this, because he made a good hit there. If anything, he hit the ball too good.
Only pool players say that, huh? Any kind of a shot. I hit it too good. Oh, really? Kind of staggered that one.
That's short. It didn't go in clean.
He kind of decelerated. He was trying to legislate the speed, and the stroke slowed down prior to impact with the cue ball, and that's why he lost a little bit of his accuracy and some of the spin.
Yeah, that wasn't his best shot either. So we've seen a lot of positional errors, a few safety errors, but we're not seeing many missed pots.
No. Much like he struggles a little bit with the tactical side, he certainly doesn't struggle with the pocketing side.
This cue ball could be close to the 5. And I'll tell you what, if you flick that 5 there, you have no shot whatsoever.
The ball's rolling.
That was so close to flicking the 5. But a great shot nevertheless. It looks like he's going to regain his 2-rack lead. And that's a poor shot. I mean, he's going to get out, but why not leave yourself virtually straight? Then you can just play the 9 in the opposite corner.
Or the other angle is way easier to negotiate. Now he's got a lot of travel.
Certainly likes making that cue ball move around the table.
And then when you know, this time it didn't, but when it freezes against that long rail. Well, he didn't suffer a lot of angst over his decisions. He just goes on with it and not worry about it and put the ball down and then.
Yep, he certainly just gets on with it.
In baseball, you get a little flare hit off the end of the bat. And they always say, well, it looks like a line drive in the box score tomorrow. Meaning, you know, I mean, nobody knows, you know, I mean, so maybe you did it wrong, but as long as you get out, it's all good.
Yep, as long as that 9 ball goes in and the cue ball stays on the table, you take it.
$7-5 is our score. Kazakis needs 6 and Filler needs 4.
Rack. Joshua breaks. 7-5.
Two ball's not going to quite reach the side pocket this time. Super thin cut shot to get. You can also bank it. You can just go straight away safety.
I think we may see him cut this up the rail. I'll be surprised if Josh doesn't go for this. He normally fires at everything. What a shot that is. What a great shot.
Mm-hmm. The bank led the cue ball down by the 3. That might have been the reason he didn't even try to cut at it or think about it much, was that he was going to have a hard time getting position.
Straight into the out of the pocket. And he's probably going to draw this behind the 6 and behind the 7. Needs to be a little bit careful. The cue ball could end up flicking the 7 and hooking himself. That's perfect. That's perfect.
Beautiful position play there.
He's starting to get in stroke now, is Josh. When he can get his hand on the table and go for the pots, that's when he's at his best. He doesn't like to get involved with the safety battles, that's for sure.
speed might be a little short. No, it's going to be okay.
Yeah, it's okay. And what a year Joshua Filler's having. US Open champion, World 9-ball champion. Could have easily won the World 10-ball championships in Las Vegas. And he's got his eyes set on the prize here, leading 8-5. Can he become the International Open champion?
9:58 for Filler. That was his fourth break and run out of the match. So 4 of the games that he's won, Alex Kazakis has had no input whatsoever. There's the rack track. Filler a couple 3-rack flurries in there. Pia and Josh having a good time.
Yeah, laughing and joking there, but might not be laughing in 10 minutes' time if Alex can get to the table.
No, but I think, you know what, I'll tell you, I think sometimes she kind of moderates some of his emotion a little bit by being happy with him. Because I watched it last night, and it was, even when it was 10-10, they were pretty jovial, you know, so.
Yeah, he's an exciting player, he's a happy-go-lucky character, is Josh.
I wasn't sure if I liked him to begin with or not, but I have learned to like him as time goes by. And he's only 22 years old. Sometimes maybe he does things a little bit juvenescent, but
yeah, sometimes
what do
he jumps up and down a little bit too much for me.
Right.
But he's only young, so you can forgive that.
And I love watching the firepower, so he can wear a jacket and be a little juvenescent, and that's fine. Look at the 2-ball. Did it just get past?
Well, he's definitely going to fire at this one as well. This will probably be a cross bank, knowing Josh.
Can't tell if he can cut it in the side. He can definitely go for the corner, but big shot.
I think the cross bank's actually an easier shot.
Yeah.
It certainly rewards position easier.
We're both pretty confident it's not going to be a safety play.
Yeah, it definitely won't be a safety play. There's no doubt about that.
That is not the MO of Josh Filler.
He's going for it in the corner.
Oh, wow.
Oh, he's took a big spring off the rail, that has. He's took a big bounce. Could have done with being about 6 inches to the left of where the cue ball is now. Now he's got to play a really slow, what we call a drag shot.
You know, the 2-ball was the first shot of this rack, and I think he felt like more confident with the pace that he played the shot to get the ball down rather than be concerned with trying to hold for an angle.
Oh, there's a lot of movement there, but it's perfect.
My goodness.
There was a lot of movement there.
He took a lot of pace out of it, even more than I thought he could from that range.
He's just going to leave the long 5 into the top left-hand corner. Wants to be on the right-hand side of the 5 ball, not the left, because then that brings the 9 into play. That's perfect. Roll this straight through now for the 6 ball into the top right-hand corner. And Joshua Filler is starting to run away with this match.
Smoothly hit. He's going forward 2 cushions.
He's just going to draw this, I feel, for either the
see
side pocket. I think you've got to play for the side pocket here, unless he wants to punch it.
He's wanting to come back up where he's at, I think. No?
Well, I'm surprised he's played that shot, but
Okay.
he's perfect nevertheless. He is absolutely dead straight on the 9 ball. Simple stop shot here.
Yet another break and run out. Great shot on the 2 ball down in the corner here to start. Hypothetically, you have to have somebody shoot a long, tough shot for your life. Jason Shaw or Joshua Filler?
For my life, sure.
Shaw.
I just think he pockets the ball a lot cleaner. And the reason for that is because he has played a bit of snooker and he's played English pool where the pockets are tight, and Chinese pool where they're very tight. So you have to be able to pocket the ball very accurately. Where Joshua's only ever played American pool, where we all know that you can hit the rail and the balls drop. So it's a totally different mindset.
Pretty interesting stat here.
Yep, showing 1,000 on the breaks.
9 for 9 on the break.
Certainly a big advantage if you can do that, that's for sure.
How about Jason Shaw or Ronnie O'Sullivan for your life?
No comparison, I'm afraid. That guy is just on a different level to anyone that I've ever seen.
I watched him play pool, and it was amazing. Balls I didn't even know go were going in effortlessly. He didn't even second guess it. So.
Oh, and he's had a good flick, bad flick there as Josh. Good flick to knock the 2 towards the corner, but the cue ball's hit the 5, so he's going to have to play a push out, I believe. And in this circumstance, you've just got to keep the heat on Alex. For me, I'd push the 5 next to the 3 and leave a jump shot on the 2. Because if you can get the 5 next to the 3, he can't make the 2 and get on it. Well, he's leaving a real first kick here. Well, I'm not convinced about this shot. If you're playing Efren Reyes, you might as well just give him ball in hand. This is a very, very makeable shot. A very makeable shot.
And we got a brief timeout now.
Well, I fancy Kazakis to kick this ball in. This isn't as tough as what you might think. Just got to make sure you hit the right part of the 2 ball and it will slide in. Whoa, is it that bad? He only just hit the 2 ball, half ball. Well, it's worked out for Filler.
Yeah, he kind of tempted him, dared him. Look at this shot. Yeah, greatly elevated cue, trying to take some pace out of the cue ball. Well, he felt a little bit straight here. See a demonstration of his cue power.
Great shot there, perfectly. Perfectly onto the...
Preserved a nice angle.
And I mentioned that he might get up to 970. He's currently at 965.
Yeah, you don't see that too often, but this is the guy that can do it.
He won't be happy with that shot because he's gone a little bit too far, but he'll just smash this in and stun off the side rail. Something like that. And he's starting to get in stroke, in free flow.
The thing with him is that, the match is going to be over with and he'll be in perfect swing. All right, 10 wins now. Josh Filler. I don't really blame Kazakis for taking on the push out, but he certainly felt like Filler may make it, especially given that he would be forced to play it.
Yeah, and he's up at 966 now, and Kazakis looks a little bit lost in his chair there.
Well, they'll be Mosconi Cup teammates after this is all over with, right?
They will. They certainly will.
The 16th rack, Joshua breaks.
Danny Dilberto oftentimes says things about Filler like, can you imagine this kid's 22 years old, you got to face 30 years of this? You know? If you're another pro player. One ball on the side.
And he's perfect on the 2. He's absolutely perfect on the 2. Well, if this 2 ball goes in, this is game over.
This will be a pretty shot if he connects. Tried to power it out of there. Left a combination on the 7. If that 7's frozen, it's not just a cinch.
Yeah, and Filler's TPA has gone up to 967, but he's just missed the ball. I'm not too sure about that one.
Oh, boy.
Oh, and that's really, really poor. That is from Alex. Why he's not played that with a touch of draw, I have no idea, but...
Now he's not going to, even if he can spin it in, he's not going to get close to the 3.
Yeah, if he can spin it in, he's going to have to leave the cue ball to the left-hand side of the 8 ball and play a tough 3.
It's also scratchable if you have to go rail first, meaning that you can scratch in the far corner pocket. Well, no, he's going to half mass A.
Great shot there. Needs this to pull up. He's okay. Tough shot now.
May have overhit this just a little bit.
Yeah, it's okay. Just okay.
Yep.
Can soft draw this just above the side pocket. May even be able to draw it off the top rail, but I think I'll be playing just above the side pocket here. Well, Alex Kazakis has got to take every single opportunity he gets from now on. Because one mistake, and we're going to see Joshua Filler move into the hot seat match.
Good execution there. Let the cue ball go near the corner pocket, come around 2 cushions. He stopped and collected himself midway. Make sure that's exactly how he wanted to play it. Well, a good demonstration of no-quit attitude in Alex Kazakis, because he halfway hooked himself in the middle of that rack when he shouldn't have, but he never let down. Battled through.
Track 17. Alex breaking. Joshua leads 10-7.
Okay, here we go.
10-6.
Yeah, Ken
Now
just
he's
saying
doing the refereeing and the playing. That's pretty good.
yeah, Ken was just saying it was 10-7. Maybe he's seen something we haven't.
All right, keep your eye on the 2 ball coming around 3 rails to Kazakis' right towards the side pocket.
He can certainly get back into this match. He's definitely not out of it. But he definitely needs to stop the errors. Oh, he hit them too thin, way too thin.
Is that a non-compliant break? I think so.
Joshua FILLER, he's about to win this match. He didn't hit them good, he hit them too thin. And everything is in the open, the 2, 3, 4, everything connects. The toughest shot is probably the 7 to the 8.
Nothing has been a struggle thus far in this rack.
Yeah, and he's found his stroke as Josh.
Yeah, he played the 2-rail position here.
It looks like a natural if he just plays it with a touch of left-hand spin. To come round for the 8 ball into the bottom left-hand corner.
Just like Chris said, this would be the last possible stumbling block in this rack. Picks up the 3rd rail, lets the cue ball release.
He'll probably play a stop shot here for the side or the corner pocket. Or can he stun above the 9 ball? Yeah, he's played for the side. This match is over. Good win for Joshua FILLER.
Well, his offense was just too much. That was the story of this match. It wasn't that his tactical game was so sound, but... All right, well, this has been another historical documentary of world-class pool brought to you by Accu-Stats. On behalf of Chris Melling and Mark Wilson, thank you for sitting in with us, and please join us a little bit later.
Introducing Lucasi Hybrid, a whole new level of performance and technology. A cue with the revolutionary X-Shocks dampening system, eliminating vibration. G5 grip technology for enhanced traction and stability results in maximum cue control. Total sweet spot construction means unmatched power. And the zero flex point ferrule provides dead-on accuracy, giving you the confidence you need in every shot. Lucasi Hybrid, the only cue that matters.
Introducing the patented Simonis X1 Chalk Dust Removal Tool. In order to keep billiard cloth playing like new, it needs efficient cleaning. With that in mind, Simonis devised and developed a totally innovative accessory, the Simonis X1. Now, you don't need a brush that pushes chalk dust around the table or into the weave, or a vacuum that can stretch and damage cloth if used improperly. The Simonis X1 quickly and quietly extracts chalk dust from the cloth and retains chalk particles in this revolutionary high-tech structure. How? The Simonis X1 works using static electricity and capillary action. Apply light pressure and use a rapid back and forth motion instead of the exaggerated pressure which is needed with a brush. The X1 gets the job done quickly, quietly, and efficiently. After cleaning the table and cushions, you can use the Simonis X1 to delicately brush the playing surface in parallel lines in order to give the cloth a well-kept and groomed appearance. The high-tech textile structure of the Simonis X1 possesses a high absorption capacity and can easily retain the dust of half a cube of chalk. That's a lot of chalk. Cleaning the Simonis X1 is easy. You can release the dust absorbed by the high-tech textile structure to restore its initial effectiveness. To do this, you can vacuum the face of the Simonis X1 or simply beat or slap the underside of the Simonis X1 with your hand to release the dust. It's as simple as that. Thank you. We hope you enjoy the revolutionary new Simonis X1.